早くしなさい。オーケー。Let's go!
Problema, Pierre.
Everybody sit down.
Greetings, Colonel.
I said sit down! Now, you know how I don't like to use the sit-down gun, but this morning we just don't have time for mucking about. Major Allied cities have come under attack.
Nazis?
Close your mouth. All right, let's get straight to the biscuits. At 0800 hours this morning, an American soldier was eaten by a Nazi dinosaur.
That's a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
No, Claire, that's a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Try thinking first before you open your mouth.
Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Week 7, Sketch Cover Madness, 52 weeks. Away we go. Hello to everyone out there. We're going to jump right into it. We're going to switch over. And, yeah, let's do it. Let's go. All right. Boom. Lights on. Let's hope that's good and bright for everybody. So this week we're going to do a Demona from Gargoyles. Got it all penciled in here. And, yeah, we're just going to jump into it. See where the night takes us. All right. What are the tools for this evening? Who can say? We'll pull out this excess. Got a B here. And away we go. All right. I'm gonna hit this button and jump right into it. Hello, Unhinged. Jason, good sir. How are you doing this evening? How goes everything? I've been having a little trouble with my mic lately, and so I spent a bunch of time trying to fix it. If it drops off or I get really low, just let me know, and I'll try to direct my anger at the microphone. All right, let's jump in here. Scoop these ears in. You know. Do. You were watching TV. Yeah, everything's going with me. Zero complaints other than I was going to stream last night. And, yeah, my mic was acting weird and it wasn't picking me up at, like, you know, when I would talk at a normal voice. So I kept feeling like I had to, like, over project. And it wasn't like that the last stream, so I don't know what happened, but here we are. You didn't miss anything, Sumo. I just ran the opening, and that was it. And we're here. Oh, I do have a package from Shelby. I got it on Friday, but he told me to open it on stream, so I'm waiting. Hello, Haldir. How you doing? I mean, I wouldn't have stole your viewers, Jason. Let's be honest here. Hello, Henry Bemis. How you doing? Yeah, but we're gonna jump in here. We're gonna get this Demona. I also changed my camera so that when I leaned over, my hat wouldn't be in the way as much. It's more back here you know, so you're getting a little slightly different angle, but you know, we're working out the kinks. And mostly the kinks are having nothing to do with me. Like, literally, my mic just wasn't working properly yesterday without changing anything. So I don't know. It's really dumb. But yeah, you know, Demona, Gargoyles. We're gonna get it done. We're gonna fire it out. We'll get week 7 in the bag. I think Shelby's like on week 8, maybe? I don't know. I know Andy told me that it was officially week 7 as of Sunday. So I guess I'm still on track, I guess. But yeah. He's way behind. He's only done like 4 so far. And also learning my lesson from the other Gargoyles non-Dark Age, Elisa Maza one. I'm not, this is going to be pure inks. You know, there might be some, you know, some Posca or some Tombow whites or something like that. But we're not going to touch this with Copics. You know, that's just me. I'll probably throw in some chicks here, not chicks, some dudes, some muscle-bound heroes here and there. Because I do draw them. I don't have a problem drawing men. But the thing is I feel like a lot of people have a problem drawing women. And they can't draw good faces. They don't know how to draw a beautiful face. Or they draw women like skinny men. Right? They just don't understand the anatomy, that it's different. You know? And so that's the thing. So I don't know. And like, people like hot chicks, and I'd rather be known that I can draw hot chicks than someone who can't draw, period. You know what I mean? And so, but yeah, like, I don't know. I've just taken a lot of time and effort to make sure that my women look good, right? Like, and so I just like that. I think other people appreciate it. And, you know, so I try to keep it legit. But yeah, you can see I kind of went in and did a lot more pencil work than I have been up to this point. Just because the Copics were such a pain in the ass last time, I had no interest in going through that again. So I was like, I'm just going to do full inks on this and go from there. Hello, K-pop. How you doing? Good to see everybody here. You know? I wasn't even sure when to stream. Like, literally every time I turned around, I was getting a notification of somebody streaming tonight. And I was just like, God damn, how are we doing this? But yeah, I don't know. I was just like, I'm just going to go now and hope for the best. But Demona's pretty cool. I've always been a fan of the character and the design. And I can be a little sloppier because I'm going to black that out later. But yeah. Oh, and just, hold on, just a little preview of what we may get here tonight. We're just going to push the button.
Gem will be right back after these messages. And now, back to Gem.
You know? Right? Like, we're leaning into this because we can. You know? I have the DVDs, I popped them in, I pulled the commercial break. Let's go. But yeah, one thing that, like, here's the other thing too, like, when you go back to these pencils, they're so waxy and they break, like, right, like, constantly you're just using the thing and then it's like ooh, 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 and then the piece falls off and breaks. It's ridiculous. All right, let's scoop this in here. I do like these SX. Oh, I went kind of crazy this week. Okay, here's the thing. On this weekend, man, I spent my weekend pulling up old flooring, old floor tiles, the whole bit. I'm telling you, this purchasing a house thing, no joke. You gotta get stuff done. All right, I'm trying to get everything done so I can get out of here and not be paying rent in this place and mortgage in the other place for as long as I am currently. I'd like to make that a shorter venture, you know, as short a venture as humanly possible, so that I can actually fully move into the house I purchased and not be paying rent and a mortgage. You know how it is. Rio. Are you looking for Rio? What? Do you need some Rio Pacheco in your life? Because I can give it to you. Hello, Caleb. How you doing today, good sir? All right, let's go.
Everyone okay?
Yeah, we just felt like hanging around.
Well, hang tight. Amazing rescue. Local youth, Rio Pacheco, saves rock group, the Holograms, from certain death. Pacheco tried its mysterious lead singer, Jem, with help in rescue. Great. Not only did you give Jerica's band $1 million worth of publicity, but you're lucky she didn't call the police.
Hey, lighten up. It's not our fault that Aja chick can't drive. Yeah!
Right? And that's the thing. And what's funny is that Aja's Asian and she can't drive. Incredible. You know, that's how it is. That's how Jem played it. They didn't care. They didn't care about Aja. They didn't mock that she took a camera everywhere she went. No, they went to her driving ability. That's right. Just for Noah. Yep. It's good times. Good times. Do. But yeah, we're in here. We're getting the majesty, the mystery. We're getting it done. But yeah, how's everybody doing tonight? Anybody got any? I mean, Aja barely has a nose. Come on now. Sumo out here in his quest to bring noses to his Asian brothers and sisters. You know? I feel for him. You know? The plight of the unnosed Asian is crippling for what it's done to the community. You know? Alright, let's get in here. Clean this neck right up. Doo-doo. Oh, differently scented. I see how it is. You can't smell what the rock is cooking. Oh no. Alright, let's get in there and get these earlobes for my fellow earlobe enthusiasts. You know? Earlobe enthusiasts worldwide. But yeah, I've got a handful of these Gargoyles Dark Ages and their other gargoyles. So, you know, at some point I might do a Goliath or Xanatos or Metal Clan, you know, Steel Clan. So yeah, anything's possible. You know, or I could do the Pack. You know, all the hunters and stuff like that from the Pack on the TV show that was on Gargoyles. You know. Anything's possible. Hello, awesome one. And are you saying J low because my voice is low? Oh, I did my work off screen? What? Don't make me cut you. Awesome one. Don't make me. Telling you. I'm telling you. Yeah, it's a weird setup. Like, trying to actually get this set up in a way that's more ideal for everyone, right? And so, like, I'm trying to get it so that I can, like, in the new place, I have purchased a second desk. And the second desk is going to be for traditional work only. And then whenever I want to work, like, digitally, and I pull my tablet over, then that's it, right? Like, I just pull that over. It's on a different desk. It doesn't get in the way. I'm not having to move everything out of the way to make space to do traditional stuff. You know? We're going full on dual workspaces, just so I can switch at will, right? And have the space to actually do things properly. You know, I'm a big fan of that. Big fan of having the space to do things well. Okay. Yeah, you gotta sumo. You gotta get in there with a tight grip. Yeah, I got some other fun stuff that I'm gonna use. Oh, my knee! My God! Just whacked my knee on this dumb desk. I'm telling you, streams are gonna be the death of me. The death. This red pencil? This one? Yeah, it should. I don't know how well it's going to pop up. But, you know. You know, she's pretty detailed. Hands. And they're only 3-fingered. You know how hard it is to get 3-fingered hands to look right? That's out of this entire thing, these are what I spent the most time on. Trying to get these damn hands to look right with only 3 fingers. It's a weird prospect. You spend a good chunk of your life learning how to draw hands with 4 fingers and understand the pull and the push and the whatever of them, and then you go to draw 3 and you're like, something. It's weird. Well, you know how it is, right? Like, that's how it goes sometimes, Awesome One. You can't always get the crowd you want, you know. But yeah, how you doing? Rumble-roo Comics, good to see you. Awesome One. It's fair to medium to see you, good sir. You know what I'm saying. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's weird, like, you know, because you just build, like, when you're just drawing all the time and you just kind of build a muscle memory. And I just don't draw a lot of 3-fingered people all the time. So you just kind of, in your head, things don't look right because they're not natural. And so you're just kind of like fighting against, you know, your learned muscle memory, your visual cues. You know, it's kind of like when you see a man in a dress, you go, something's wrong here. You know, your visual cues your entire life and your genetic structure has been built up around the fact that men typically don't wear, you know, flowery dresses. But, you know. It is what it is. Right? Light ages? Well, light ages would be interesting depending on, you know, how you think about that. Would that be modern day gargoyles? You know, or would it be future gargoyles? Because they've done some really like the cartoon show is really good. Like I can't recommend it enough. Like the actual regular cartoon show is really good. One of my favorite episodes of Gargoyles, interestingly enough, doesn't have a ton to do with the gargoyles per se. It has to do with the security guard. And the security guard, they basically flash back to every time the gargoyles interacted with him and screwed him over in some way, and which wasn't their fault. Like he lost his job as a security guard in one place, and he was working as like at another place. And so every time, somehow it manages that the gargoyles, like, you know, interacting with Xanatos or whatever they were doing, ended up putting this guy out of a job. And so he's hunting them the whole episode just to like throw a pie in Goliath's face. It's the funniest thing ever, and it's one of my favorite episodes because it's like you don't often see what happens to the minions or what the incidental characters' lives are affected by the main character, you know. And it's kind of like, you know, that random security guard that, like, you know, James Bond comes in and knocks out or whatever, you know, you don't know what happens to him. And so this was an interesting way to tell that story. And so, yeah, that stuff's kind of fun to me. I actually like, you know, when you see these interesting takes on what happens to the little guy, you know, or the guy who, you know, isn't the main character. That stuff's always fun. These weird elbows on their wings, which I always found kind of entertaining. You'd probably be a minion? Alright, Sumo. Take it down a notch there, buddy. But here's the other thing that I found weird. I was looking at the other Gargoyles comics, right? Like just the regular Gargoyles comics. And it's supposed to be like season 3 or the ongoing adventures of Gargoyles. And when I flipped through it, I was like, why is Elisa kissing Goliath? Right? Like it was always a weird, like, I always thought it was like this is like an unrequited, this is a love that can never be. They care for each other, but they never act on it. Right? But in the comics they are, and I found it kind of gross. Like I found it kind of like, we're getting into a weird territory here, guys. And so I kind of was put off by it. I was just like, man, it's kind of cooler if it's like an unspoken thing, right? And, you know, but hey, what are we doing here, you know? Get in here, get that collarbone popping. You know, maybe I'm the weird one. Maybe I'm the weird one that would prefer them to just kind of be like a, hey, it's unspoken and we're never going to act on it, and that's what keeps it kind of interesting. I don't know. But yeah, I did kind of get a weird vibe from it, so I was like, Yeah, I think, well, that's the thing. I think minions do have a good, right? And like, I don't know. I'm really weird. Well, not weird, but like say you're like, I don't know how many of you guys play video games or whatever, but like when you're playing like Uncharted and you're playing as like Nathan Drake, right? And you know, he's ostensibly the good guy. He goes in and he's the hero, and you know, he's fighting all these guys. But like when you go in the first level of a game and you kill like 40 dudes, right? And then the next level, it's however many guys. And then there's a chase, and then there's this, and you're killing all these guys. When you start killing like 100 dudes over the course of a game, 200 guys or whatever, you're a mass murderer, right? Like there's this like uncanny valley / what the hell's the word I'm looking for? Like it's like incongruence between the story being told and the actions of the character. And it like really drives me crazy. It's kind of like Grand Theft Auto 4 had it as well. the guy would come in and talk about like how he was coming to America for a better life, and then the next level he would kill a whole bunch of people and run people over with a car, and then the next cutscene would be like, yeah, I've just come here to, you know, make a life for myself and be a better person and all this stuff. And so cognitive dissonance, that's the word I'm looking for. Cognitive dissonance. There we go. Where, you know, the character's like wants and actions don't match up with the story and the actions and stuff that they're taking. And it's really immersion breaking, and it's just frustrating, like on that level. Like at least with like somebody like Lara Croft, she's not a good person, right? She is a tomb raider. She runs around and shoots people and kills people and steals and grave robs and whatever. And so she's not necessarily a good guy, right? She tends to be going up against people who are worse than her. So by default, she's kind of good because she's in it for the thrill. She's not in it for the money. She's already rich, you know, that kind of thing. So she's not inherently a good person per se. So if she has to like kill people, it's not as, you know, cognitively dissonant as it would be with somebody who's saying that, you know, they're a good person and they're trying to do the right thing, and, you know, and then they kill 100 people. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I don't know. I find that stuff interesting, like in storytelling, especially in video games. Comics are like that as well. Like a lot of times, you know, the actions don't always measure up with who they are telling you they are and who everyone else is telling you they are. So yeah, I don't know. Like I'm as a storyteller myself, I find that stuff to be very, I'm not going to say off-putting, but you just wonder when you're creating these things, or the groups of people who tend to create video games and movies and whatnot, why they don't step back and look at that aspect of it and either try to appeal to you, like, you know, to give you a soft, non-lethal option, like, you know, just to kind of still experience the same story, but not be a mass murderer. You know what I mean? Like, I just think it's interesting as a storytelling device, really. No, now that's not true, you know. Let's not go around saying things we can't take back off someone. The military does not do that, you know. And let me tell you, I know some people who have served, and that is definitely not what's happening. You know. So you know how it is. Hello, good day to you, Mo Biggs, good sir. I see things mostly right away. I try to keep an eye on the chat as much as possible. But, you know, sometimes it's hard to do multiple tasks and serve all the masters, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, good to see you, Mo. No, I wish they did. Man, I wish they served bacon and maple syrup and all kinds of deliciousness. You know? That's just me, though. I do like, I had bacon this morning. I'll let you know. Yep, that is a nip. She has nipples. She's a nipple-based creature. You know how it is. How many people we got here? 9? See, I was kind of hoping Shelby would show up for when I opened his box, because he told me to open the box on stream. But maybe we'll take a quick break right here, right? I'll open Shelby's box, and then we'll get back to the drawing, right? Because then we'll know what I can potentially be drawing later, right? I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to take Shelby's and my address. Oh god, that's loud. Off this. Before I open it. Take the custom sheet out. I'm gonna slide this over. This is the box. This is the box that Shelby sent me. I don't know what's in it officially, but I'm pretty sure I know what's in it. Because, you know, me and Shelby had a few conversations. And then here's what I love about Shelby. Shelby's got a good racket going. He hits me up and says, hey, is this your address? And I go, yeah, that's still my address. I haven't fully moved into my new place yet. And he's like, send me $22. And I go, okay. Not like sight unseen. I just send him $22. And then he goes, it's things you want. And I go, okay. And he's like, trust me. And I'm like, dude, I already sent you the money. It's cool. Like, you know. And so anyway, and then he sends me a tracking number. And so I'm just like, all right, you know, I'm just going to straight up, you know, assume that Shelby's going to send me something if I send him $22. And I did. Man, Mo, I wish it was crack. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But yeah, it's a pretty good scam. Like, you know what I mean? If he wanted to be a scammer, hello, Tay-Tay is a psyop, aka Angela Curry. You know, it's a pretty good scam. Like, Shelby's pretty trusted or whatever. And so if he just kind of started popping in and going, hey, dude, give me $22. I got something for you. Like, you know, and then he just didn't send you anything. Like, I'm sure he could rack up a few $1,000s, right? Before anybody got wise to, you know, him pulling a send me $22, bro scam. All right. So they're upside down. I've opened them upside down. We're going to go through them. I'm going to turn this like this, right? We're going to take... Oh, did he put them all together? Okay. We can't do that. Okay. We're going to get rid of this. We're going to throw the box back here. All right. Shelby wrapped this up so good. That I don't know how I'm going to get into it. All right. I think I've opened it. Okay, yes, we've got an opening point. We still have not revealed what's in any of these. I'm gonna stick this tape over here. All right, so I'm still gonna keep it upside down, and I'm just gonna pull one out. There's nothing on it. Okay. It's just a backer, because Shelby likes to wrap and protect things. All right. Oh, what do we got here? Okay, we know what one of these is. Okay. So Shelby has sent me a Street Fighter Legends Cammy blank cover. It's number 1. Right? Set that over here. The next one, as we can already see, is a Street Fighter Pin-Up Special. See, now we got all kinds. Oh yeah, Shelby packs things awesomely. I've actually bought art from him before. Street Fighter Pin-Up Special. So, boom, 2019. So that's pretty cool. So far, we've got some really cool blanks from good old Shelby Robertson. Oh, I'm gonna flip this over. We can't see it. Can't see it yet. Okay, so now Stranger Comics 1 of 5 Vampire. This is a Vampire Hunter D cover? What? Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I just want to look at this just because there's a sticker over it. Okay. Vampire Hunter D Message from Mars. That's pretty cool. All right, let's not even pretend that this isn't like great. Wow, that's awesome. The art is really good in this too. Wow, that's going to be fun. I'm excited about that. That's Shelby. Thank you. That's pretty cool. You know, like this whole thing's pretty cool, but I was like not even expecting that. I don't know what I was expecting. You know, I'm not going to Vampire Hunter D's nuts. You know, I like CDs. CDs nuts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay. That was the last thing I was expecting to see in this thing, right? Okay. Street Fighter Summer Sports variant. Udon 2018. These are old, man. 2018. So, Street Fighter Summer Sports Special. All right, that's pretty awesome. I'll set that over there. So I got some Street Fighter, some sexy Street Fighter blanks. Uh-oh. Some sexy Street Fighter blanks. And, yeah, I'm a big fan. That Vampire Hunter D. Cool. All right. What's the next one? What's the next one we're pulling? Okay. Oh, here we go. Gem and the Holograms. Number 8, sketch cover. Here we go. Are we going to draw Gem? Are we going to draw Pizzazz? We're going to draw Aja crashing a car.
Gem will be right back after these messages. And now, back to Gem.
Boom. Gem and the Holograms. Yes, that's awesome. I'm stoked about this. That is going to be excellent. So we're going to get some Gem and the Holograms. We know we're going to get at least one Gem and the Holograms piece out of me in these 52 weeks. Because we have one now. Could be a Rio pinup. Yeah, could be Rio in a Speedo. Draw B. Arthur and the Golden Grams. God, that'd be excellent. So that's awesome. Okay, we got a sweet Gem and the Holograms IDW cover. All right, we're going here. We got another one. We've got another Gem. Here we are. So we could do Gem, the Misfits. We could do Riot. You know, it could be anybody. You could have an Eric Raymond backhanding Jerrica Benton. You know, we got options now. See, so we got 2 possible Gem and the Holograms covers. This is great. This is great. Boom. Okay. Now, the last one. What is it going to be? I'm going to set this bag over here. What is Drawn to Comics, Glendale Avenue, and another Gem? So we got options. That's awesome. So we got 3 Gem books, 3 Street Fighter, and a Vampire Hunter D. You got 7 books. That's pretty awesome. I'm very stoked to have these. Yeah, Shelby, if you're watching this, thank you. Super appreciate it. Yeah, so I get to do some Gem sketch covers, and that's going to be pretty exciting. Vampire Hunter D, Street Fighter. It's going to be fun. It's going to be super fun. And I'm excited about it. Very excited. So let's bring that excitement back to Demona. You know, I'm very excited about it. Then it's awesome, right? We're gonna get some sweet stuff out there, you know, and it's gonna be fun. That's the thing. Like, stuff like that makes you excited to work on stuff, right? Like when you actually get out there and, you know, you're like, hey, I want to do this, and then you're just like, oh, I'm having trouble finding it, and like, because like here's like the real sauce. Like I was trying to find them, right? And when you were ordering them, most of them were in the States. It was really actually hard to find one in Canada for a decent price. And then if you're getting them from the States, one book was $25 or $30, and then it would have $20 to $30 shipping on it from the States. So I was like, I'm not going to pay $60 for one Gem, right? Like that. So I was just kind of like, I don't want to do it. And then Shelby was like, dude, I think I just have some of them. I think I'm just sitting on some of them. And so when he hit me up and was like, dude, I want your address. This is right. Like, you know, like he's like, no, well, he said, is this still your address? And so I was just like, yeah, dude. Like, and so I assumed, like, you know, because we had talked about it kind of on some stuff there, and he was just like, yeah, I think I have them. I'll have to look. And so, yeah, that's super sweet, you know, that he did that. I still, okay, here's the thing. I can't send anybody the link because I'm working in OBS, and so I'd have to add some stuff to actually be able to pull that in. And I just haven't had the chance to actually pull in all the program stuff to OBS. You're lucky we got this. You're lucky I can do all this stuff that I'm doing right now. It's been a thing trying to get it set up, and then when you do get it set up, it will just randomly stop using your mic for no apparent reason, and then you're like, why does that not work? It worked yesterday. You know? Yeah, it's cool. No, but like this thing, like, super appreciate Shelby. He's been nothing but cool to me. Anytime I've ever asked him a question about anything, like the printer I have, the printer scanner I have, I hit him up and was like, hey, what should I get for doing some of this stuff so I can print out Blue Line and whatnot? And, you know, he straight up was like, hey, this is what you should get. This is what I have. And yeah, so like, that's the thing I've always appreciated with Shelby. There's no ego, there's no arrogance, and he likes to share information, he likes to help, you know? And, you know, and because some people don't, right? Like, some people are very much like, well, I spent all this time figuring it out, you go figure it out, you know? And that's the thing. So, like, you know, if you want to be like that, I get it. It's not cool. But, like, you know, and that's the thing. So if, like, I don't know, like, anytime anybody ever asks me to help them with anything, I let them know the information. I'm just like, hey, this is what's up, you know? And I just don't see the reason to hoard information, right? Like, you know, like, I get that, like, you know, you could argue, like, hey, I figured it out, now you go figure it out. You know, life isn't easy, wear a helmet, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? But at the same time, it doesn't hurt you to put people in the right direction, right? That's my thing. Hello, Edwin. How you doing today, Buzz, good sir? You know, like, that's the kind of thing. Like, I just... I don't know. It's weird. Like, I'm also kind of mixed on the subject because, like, I guess the best way to put it is, like, I'll help anybody out as long as I feel they appreciate it. But the second I feel like they come to expect it or feel they deserve my help, that's when it gets, like, kind of like, you know, you're kind of like, you know, dude, at least appreciate that people are helping you. That kind of stuff, that's where it kind of starts rubbing me the wrong way. And, you know, I kind of pull back and go, you know, oh, sorry, dude, I can't help you. Like, you know, it's a weird thing. Like, I definitely have no problem helping people out or working with people or whatever. But yeah, as soon as I get that feeling like that you just expect it, that's when I kind of go, nah, I'm good. You know? But yeah, people in general, I like to take the more favorable approach to people, and yeah, see, Mo gets it. Mo thinks that he should have a wrench in every channel, and I understand how naked and afraid he feels without a wrench in a channel, and so I like to have him experience that once in a while. He's so, you know, lofty everywhere else. You know, he can see what it's like to be one of the little people again. You know? So, sometimes the humbling is good for some people. You know, remember where you came from. You know? But yeah, the internet's a weird place. The internet is absolutely a weird place. But yeah, lots of good people, and I think that's the thing. Like, I tried to interact with and talk to and befriend good people, at least, like, on the surface. Because I mean, you can never know. You can never 100% know anybody. But typically, if you go with your gut and you get a good feeling about people or a bad feeling, I think you should just follow that and, trust your gut as much as possible. If you get a weird vibe from somebody, you're probably getting the right vibe, Yep. Ketchup chips. Listen, they bring all the boys and girls to the yard. Ketchup chips. Get it done. So that's okay. It's a good thing Noah wasn't in the chat there this morning. Man, poor Noah. Jeez. Yeah. It's true, it's true. Hello, Creators Outlet. How you doing tonight, good sir? Or ma'am. I don't want to misgender anyone. You know how it is. It's wild in these virtual streets. But yeah, it's funny stuff. The internet's a strange and odd being. That is for sure. You gotta get in there, get it done. Damn, I needed that job at Chipotle. What was he calling it? He was calling it Chipotle? And the Australian guy was calling it Chipotle. And I was like, all right. I was like, whether you're doing that intentionally or not, it's kind of funny to me. Chipotle. Yeah. It's a good time. It's a good time. But yeah, I watched that new Elden Ring trailer today. Damn, that looks good. The Erd Tree Biz. I don't know when I'll ever have time to play it, but I was drooling over it. It was visually enticing. But yeah, that looks good. I also watched, when I first got up this morning, that Nintendo Direct was there. And I watched that this morning, and they had a new Endless Ocean. Don't know if anybody played that on the Wii back in the day. But it was like a really chill, like, you go on missions underwater and you're swimming around and you gotta explore sunken shipwrecks. And it just had this real, like, laid back, casual feel to it, right? And so it was really bizarre that they were making a sequel to that. Like a modern day, I guess as modern as the Switch is, for a machine that is like, a crappy old cell phone, basically, as a console. Hello, Jeremy Burtz. Oh, your internet's down. That sucks. But yeah, good to see you, Jeremy. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're not in a power outage or some kind of storm or something like that, because that would suck. But yeah, I hope you're doing well, man. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I kind of also went kind of crazy this month buying up some classic video games. So it's a bit of a vice of mine, if you haven't seen in the background. I do collect a lot of video games. And yeah, kind of bought a bunch of PS1 games this month. And they're not cheap, but you can't help it, right? Like that's kind of the thing. Same with like old comics or anything like that. You're gonna pay for the good stuff. For sure. Ketchup chips and a bag of milk. You know it. I'm out on these streets, you know, getting that ketchup chip. Man, oh, you know what I seen? What retro games did I pick up? All right, I picked up Wild Arms 2 for the PS1, Tales of Phantasia 1 and 2, and Grand Stream Saga. The two Tales games on PS1 are crazy expensive, but I actually got them for a really good deal. So, you know, I got them for well below the going rate, but it was still pricey. Still pricey, you know. So yeah, I've been trying to fill some holes in my PS1 JRPG collection. And yeah, and then when you realize, you're like, oh, those games are expensive. You spend a good amount of time hunting down a decent price, you know. But yeah, it's like anything else, you know. If you're looking for, you know, Savage Swords of Conan and stuff like that, if you want them in good shape, you're going to pay for them, right? And so, yeah, it just kind of depends on what you're willing to pay for stuff and what a physical copy in your collection, what that value actually means to you, you know. Yeah, definitely eBay, Henry, and that's the thing. Like, some stuff you can get a really good price on. Like, I think I paid like 35 or 40 bucks for the Wild Arms 2. It's like, it just showed up today, actually. Where's that? The Wild Arms 2 showed up today. It is like super mint, you know, like 90s, early 2000s games on the PS1, you know. Big fan of this series. And so I had it digitally, like I bought it on Vita, PS3, whatever. I've had a digital copy for a very long time, right? I have played Thousand Arms. Yeah, big fan. I picked up a bunch of random stuff too. Like, I picked these up over the weekend. Fantastic Four and Enclave. This game, the Fantastic Four game, made me laugh a bunch already, right? I put it in, and I was like, wow, you know. And so yeah, I picked up a bunch of weird stuff, and you know, I'm just filling holes in my Xbox collection, 360 collection, Xbox One, PS4, PS5. You know, you name the system. There's only a few I don't really collect for, just because my interest isn't really there, you know. I paid $3 for Fantastic Four, Mo, in a pawn shop. There's a pawn shop that's between where I'm living now and where my new house is. And anytime I drive the 2-hour drive to go work on the house, I stop into this pawn shop. And so I picked those up. And because, like, you know, admittedly, I like to pick up weird comic book and movie games and stuff like that. So anytime I see something like that, I'm going to pick it up and check it out. I'll likely do a video on it. Like, I did a video on The Punisher for Xbox. I did a video on Heavy Metal because Simon Bisley did all the art and character design, stuff like that. So yeah, there will be weird videos that come out of some of that stuff. So, you know, this is how it is. Yeah, Wild Arms is super fun. The music is great. They always have these really great opening animations and stuff like that as well. I also like in the first Wild Arms, you can pick between 3 characters to start, and their journeys all come together, and that's really cool. I like that. Wild Arms 2 does that as well, you know. So yeah, no, good stuff. But yeah, I don't know, big game collector, have been for a long time now. It's just, I don't know. It's one of those. It's the art that I like to enjoy when I'm not making art, right? And it's always kind of been that way. I've always been like a big fan of video games and like inspired by them, and you know, they're just a good way to, you know, lizard brain zone out and do something, you know, do something else while still interacting. Like, you know, I always find like movies in a lot of ways to be a lesser form of entertainment than gaming, because it's such a passive experience. Because, you know, you're just sitting there and it's all input, right? And you're just getting hit with whatever they're throwing out there, and that's fine. Like, you know what I mean? But like in a game, you can have that same experience while pushing back on it, while interacting with it, and poking holes in it, you know. And I know that's not for everybody, but like I do find it enjoyable, you know. And especially stuff with skill. Like I'm a big Ninja Gaiden fan and stuff like that, so I like hard games, you know, and I like mastering that kind of stuff. And I play fighting games. I bought Tekken 8. I haven't had a chance to play anywhere near as much as that I like, but I did play some ranked and whatnot, and just getting to grips with the new systems and all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know, it's like I look at a lot of things, like especially like fighting games and competitive fighting games. I look at it a lot like art. It's all problem solving. You have to figure out the person you're playing against. And art is like, you know, you got to figure out the anatomy, the perspective, the pose, the, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? Like it's all problem solving. And, yeah, I like that. Do. What live service game are you playing? That's the question. What live service game are you playing, Awesome One? A little depth. It all started 10 years ago. Oh God. There's an arc. There's a story arc to this Awesome One story. Do. But yeah, and then I got some other stuff coming in the mail. I picked up a Thundercats. I got Thundercats blanks coming as well. I picked some of those up because I wanted to do, you know, obviously wanted to throw in a Cheetara, you know, stuff like that. And so I picked up, I think, I picked up 5 of those Thundercats blanks. And so I plan on doing at least one of those in the 52. You know, we'll see. I also have a Great Lakes Avengers, courtesy of Sumo Thori, and I was looking at that roster, and I was like, my God, what the hell would I draw from, like, which one of these characters would I do, you know? And then I was like I went and looked at like the active member list of the Great Lakes Avengers, and I was like, maybe I could do like, you know, somebody who trained them or something, you know, something like that, or Dinosaur or something like that. Like, you know, I was like, what a bizarre book this was. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, there's some good. Oh, like a lot of the EA Sports boxing games. Yeah. Yeah, because they were really good, and like Mike Tyson has a boxing game on Xbox. Hold on, I can reach over and grab it because this is how I live. Mike Tyson's heavyweight boxing. You know? you know? But yeah, that's the thing. All right, let's get in here. Highlight the stretch of her boobs. Yeah, I also like UFC on the Dreamcast. That was such a fun game. Like, I just remember playing that at the time and just laughing my ass off with friends. You know, good times, good times. But yeah, that's kind of the thing though. They just don't make like modern games like, you know, for as I don't know, it's weird, for as pretty and graphically impressive as a lot of games are, there's I don't know, something about like whether it's Unreal like as the graphics engine or what, but everything somehow looks really good but also really samey and boring at the same time. Right? Like that's the weird thing about like graphics. It's like, oh yeah, like it looks nice, but it's like nothing exciting about it, right? Like it's just like, I don't know. But then you go back and like the Dreamcast and it's like you had Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi and like all these games that just are like still cool. Like Jet Set Radio is timeless, right? Like it's still a good looking game today, right? Because of the cell shading and like the graphic graffiti style that the game has. And then you look at like stuff that came out like on the PS3 or the 360, and some of that stuff just looks like just boring and brown and flat looking, right? When you play it today. And so, yeah, it's style, you know, will last, you know, like art direction matters, you know, because like that's the thing. Any of those games back in the 360 PS3 era that they tried to make look realistic just look bad now, right? And but then you look at something like Jet Set Radio or Jet Set Radio Future, you know, they just have a cool art style, and so you're just like, yeah, that looks awesome still today, you know, or but even like PS1 games, like a lot of PS1 games just hold up, right? And like, you know, like Mega Man Legends and, you know, I don't know, just art style just always rules the day. All right, get up here. Yeah, and there was that Wacky Racers. Wacky Racers on the Dreamcast look really good. A lot of the Looney Tunes games on PS1, PS2, Dreamcast all still look really good. Like it's really interesting to see things that hold up. I'm also a big fan of Jumping Flash on the PS1. There's Jumping Flash 1 and 2. It has this really flat polygon style that just still like looks good. It's weird, you know. So yeah, it's that's the thing. Like, you know, get in there, make something that looks cool and unique, and I don't know, just that striving for realism all the time tends to be more trouble than it's worth. Yeah, that's true, Mo. Like, when PS1 games don't hold up, they really don't hold up. I agree 100%. But like, there is a lot of trash out there for sure. For sure. But like Ghost in the Shell, I have Ghost in the Shell on PS1. I replay that game. Like, it's good. It's like ridiculously enjoyable, and like, you know, the 3D platforming and stuff like that in it is really fun. The boss fights, like, that game's enjoyable. A lot of the light gun games too, I find hold up pretty well from back then, like Time Crisis or Point Blank, stuff like that. All right, I should go back up here. finish the face since it's probably dry now. That's why I'm scooting around trying to make sure I don't get anything and smudge it. But yeah, she's popping in there, Demona. Yeah, see, my thing, like, I've dabbled in PC gaming, but I have a great PC. I've got, like, a great PC right now. But I've always been a console guy because I like to have a physical copy of my game. I collect games, and PC started dropping off. PC started dropping off from physical way sooner. Like, my current PC didn't even come, with a disc drive or a Blu-ray drive or anything like that, And so, yeah, like, that's my thing. Like, if gaming ever goes all digital, I'm out. Right? I just like to own my games, like to have a physical copy of it. Right? Like, just recently, Spec Ops: The Line got pulled from Steam, got pulled from Xbox, all that kind of stuff, because the music rights ran out. Right? So now, if you go on Steam, you cannot buy a copy of Spec Ops: The Line. Right? Because they don't want to pay to re-up the music rights. And so that to me means I own a physical copy. They can never take it away from me. They can never pull it off the store. They can never... Like Disney. Disney has taken games from people. Sony has taken movies. Crunchyroll, when they merged with Funimation, they took parts of your catalog away from you, stuff that you paid for. Right? Like, that kind of shit just drives me wild. And so I like to have a physical collection, because then you can't come after me, like my, and try to take it off my hard drive or my cloud storage or my, digital catalog or whatever, right? Like, and so, yeah, I'm very much a proponent of owning the things you have paid for, physically having a copy of, that game or that movie or that comic book or whatever it is. And, being able to use it at your leisure. And there's so many people like, oh, well, digital's more convenient. And I'm like, okay, well, remember that when you wake up one day and they've taken your stuff and you go, oh, I don't actually own anything. Boo-hoo. But yeah. So yeah, I'm big proponent of physical collecting. And, because I don't know, there's even like Blu-rays, like in DVDs, there's just a ton of stuff that, even VHS-wise, hasn't even ever been brought to Blu-ray, or if it's, brought to DVD. Like, so that's the thing. There's also the preservation side of the media as well. And same with comics and stuff like that. They put all these collections out there and they're always missing something, because of some rights holder or whatever, And so, yeah, just own your stuff. Just go out there and get a physical copy of it. Same with DVDs, same with CDs. I own a bizarre amount of CDs. I just like if I'm in a thrift store, I'm in whatever. Or of a record store or whatever, I still go to record stores and, that kind of thing. And yeah, I still pick it up. I'm like, oh, here's an old Sloan CD or a Dag Nasty tape or something like that. I'll just see it and be like, hey, I'm just going to grab that. Throw it in the car. And because then you just have a physical copy of it. And at this point, like, why not? But yeah, that's the thing. Well, yeah, and that, like, I've walked into, I walked into a thrift store one time, and they just had a Dreamcast with a bunch of games, and it was like $50, and I was like, what? Like, you know, and I just bought an extra Dreamcast. I was like, man, let's go. You know, because it's like, hey, what if mine breaks down or whatever? I'll just have this extra one. So yeah, that's the thing, because they're just not making this stuff anymore, you know. And so I'm not some kind of weird hoarder or anything, but you know, I do like to just own the things I purchase and just have access to them in the way I want to have access to them when I want to have access to them. And I think that's important, just in general. Yeah, that's the same, right? Like, you know, you're gonna pull out like, oh, you've got your Operation Ivy CDs and your, you know, All and Big Drill Car and, you know, all that kind of stuff. You know, that's the thing. You just, and that stuff's not getting reprinted again. They're not out there, you know, reprinting Dag Nasty CDs. You know what I'm saying? They're not out there reprinting Big Drill Car, you know, All or Descendants or any of that stuff, right? You know. So yeah, that's the thing. Tay-Tay is cartwheeling and then lifting weights and then smiling. Okay. That's weird. You're weird. I'll let it slide, you know. All right. Yeah, well, I'm still thinking about that Vampire Hunter D. You know what I'm saying? Alroy's Revenge. Yeah. I have like, what's funny is I have like tapes and CDs of all that stuff, Alroy for Prez, all that stuff. And I have a bunch of it on my hard drive as well, because I was like, man, that needs to happen. I need to just be able to listen to good stuff anytime I'm just chilling. I need that in my life. I need to hear Just Perfect right now, you know, that kind of stuff. All right, we'll scoop. Scoops Haagen-Dazs right down here. You know? Scoops Haagen-Dazs. I do like physical items. It's weird, like, I don't know. Like, my thing is like, in general, you know, it's going to sound weird to say as a guy with a big game collection and whatever, you know, and there's like an arcade cabinet and a slot machine behind me that you can see, like, when I go straight on, right? It's not that I'm like all about physical material things, but I'm more about just access, like just being allowed to have the thing that you have and being able to enjoy it when you have time to enjoy it, right? Like, I just want to be able to, like, you know, like in the hallway, you can't see it here, but when I move into my new house, you will. I have a Neo Geo MVS4 slot arcade cabinet. I bought that like 10 years ago, maybe more at this point. Just because I wanted one since I was a kid, right? Like, and so, you know, that's the thing. When you have that stuff, you can just enjoy it at your leisure. You don't got to go somewhere and find one. You don't have to like bother other people or anything like that, right? Like, and so I think that's the thing that makes that kind of stuff special. You know, when you just build your own personal libraries of things, right? Like, you know, you curate the things that you love and just build little libraries. You know, but yeah, I don't know. There's just something special about just having access to things, like, you know, and so yeah, like it's like anybody who has a novel collection or a comic collection or whatever, you know, and then you could just say like, hey, I'm gonna sit down and read Conan all day today, right? Because I have all these old Conan books, you know, and so yeah, that's the special, and I like to actually, you know, hold the book. I don't want to read it on a Kindle or look at it on a screen or whatever. Like, we stare at screens enough, right? Like, I just want a real book that isn't glowing at me, you know. That's why I think certain things just won't ever go away. Like, I think that's why we can still buy, you know, vinyl, right? Like, even if, you know, comics get to a space where, you know, no one wants to print them, or they're not printing them in mass quantities, I still think there will be always people making books, right? Like, just for the factor of being able to hold it and possess it in your hand, or that, like, as a creator, you're making something tangible and sending it out into the world, you know. This is my XP pen drawing glove that just has a bunch of cats on it. It was $10 because I needed one for my Wacom tablet. This is my big boy, right here, right? My big O. You know, but yeah, right. And so I didn't want to pay like big money or whatever, and this was on sale on Amazon, so I bought it. You know, and I'm man enough that I don't mind that there's like some kind of weird cat octopus on my hand and other little cats, right? It's pretty faded here, but this little guy's still here, you know. But, you know, that's how it is. Sometimes you just get the thing with the cat on it, not because you want a cat on it, but because it's cheaper than buying the other one that's just black. Why? I don't know. We may never know. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I wouldn't wear a pink one. That's the thing, you know. But when the difference is, hey, I can get this glove for $10, or I can pay, like, I can't remember what an average glove is, like $20 or something like that. And it's like, I'll just take the one, you know, I'll just take the cat one, whatever. No one, like, and that's the thing. I wasn't streaming or anything when I bought this, so I wasn't like, people are gonna see my glove, you know. I didn't care, right? I didn't care if anybody saw or didn't see it, because I wasn't even thinking anyone was ever going to see it. You know? Hello, Dean. ... Ellipses. Dean. I see you out there. How you doing, Dean? What's up? How goes it for you in upside down prison world? That's the question. Now, are you playing anything good? Did you pick up Tekken 8 yet? Are you still playing that terrible Mortal Kombat game? That's the real question, DJ. You're not going to be getting Tekken 8. Sad. Sad, sad. Sad state of affairs. You just want to be abused by Warner Brothers and NetherRealm. I get it. I get it. You're a masochist. Sounds good. Do-do-do-do. Be a little shadow on that. Listen, I hear that. I would love to be knee deep in Tekken online, ranked. There are even locals here in my area. I know a bunch of guys who go every Wednesday. But yeah, I just don't have the time. Just always got work to do. And I would love to have more time to play video games, but it's just how it is. It's life. It's life with big boy pants. Do. Live action Avatar. I've successfully lived my life without seeing any Avatar movies or Titanic. I'm going to try to continue. Oh, and I have yet to see the other two Lord of the Rings movies. That's right. I'm gonna throw some wild statement out here. Oh, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Oh, okay. I thought you were. Okay. All right. I don't have to go too hard. The funny thing is I think the Avatar live action, like that's going to Netflix, actually looks like it's staying close to the source material, right? They might be pulling a bait and switch, but visually I could look at it and tell who everybody was, right? Like instantly you could just look and be like, okay, here's everybody. I know who everybody is. Cool. I didn't have to like wonder which gender this person was, or, why they didn't get a black guy to play an Asian guy or anything weird like that. So far on paper, the live action Avatar looks like it's trying to be true to the source material, right? Yeah, right. Like, because whatever, like, say what you want about Avatar, it was actually genuinely good, right? Like, there was actually good storytelling, there was actually good characters, good plots, progression, the whole thing. It was actually really, and quality animation too, like, and so yeah, like that was the thing. It was very special, especially for when it came out, in the landscape of weird bullshit that was coming out at the time. And yeah, like really flew under the radar. Like I remember seeing that on at like 3 or 4 in the morning one time, before anybody even knew what it was. Like it was just playing, and then it became a thing, and I was like, man, this show's been playing for like a year before I even heard people talk about it, right? And that was what was kind of wild. I was just kind of like, oh, really? People care about this weird show that I watch at like 4 a.m? You know? And so, yeah, that was kind of the weird thing about Avatar, is that it definitely was like around before it kind of gained any critical mass. That's for sure. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, it was one of those things where I was like, because I think I saw it like, and I was like, thought it was like an anime at first. I was like, what a weird thing this is. You know, I've never heard about it. And then I looked into it and it's like, oh, it's like American crazy, right? Like, you know, but yeah, I don't know. It was just, I don't know. It was one of those things where it was like solid storytelling and, you know, interesting characters, but like also a lot of it was just kind of like formulaic in a good way, I guess, you know, like the hero's journey and all that kind of stuff. You know, because it is like, it was interesting, you know, from the fact that like he was the Avatar. He was just like a kid and had all this like, you know, pressure thrust upon him kind of thing. So it was an interesting journey to follow. Okay, that claw's popping. It's popping. Wait, did I miss something? We had a massive one removed last year, messed up our lines. I think these trees are good for is paper for my comics. Trees are bad for the environment. Okay. Oh, okay, I see where we go. Henry talking about the tree root he removed. All right. I just looked up and I was like, what is happening? My God. Yeah, that's the other thing I'm worried about with my new place, is here I have great internet. When I move there, I don't know, I might end up having to get like Elon's Skylink or something like that, you know. So who knows? You say Iceland outlawed trees? Is that a thing I just read? They outlawed trees. But yeah. We'll see. All kinds of weird things. But yeah, I spent the weekend removing old floor tile. And so that was a thing. You know. Because I'm trying to get all new flooring and stuff in it, because the stuff that's in there is kind of dated and kind of ugly. And so, you know, I would at least like it to look clean and new. Don't get us started on Roots. Like the movie? The movie Roots? Okay. I'm gonna pull that all the way up. I'm not sure what you're trying to say out here, Sumo. Listen, this is an awesome one. I don't know if you're joking or not. Like, I mean, it seems like a joke. But you could be serious about it. You know? No. No. I don't live on any island. But I see what I did is I've been looking to get a new place for about 2 years, and I finally found one, and it happens to be far away from where I currently am right now in the city. And so I'm moving essentially out into the country, a 2-hour drive from the closest city, and by design, you know, I'm kind of done. I'm kind of done. I've lived here in the city for 22, 23 years, I think. And yeah, I'm just kind of over it. I've done it. Time to move on. You know, and it's like at some point, you know, you got to stop renting. You know, own your stuff. Own your own home. Stop just giving money away and having nothing to show for it. You know? Sumo, settle down. Not everything's about you. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I get it. But not everything. Fill that in. Get her chompers right out there. You know? She's making that sound. An Asian guy? Hashtag draw more Asians? I don't even know what's happening here. My God. I'm not sure if Sumo's blind or what. I'm not sure what's happening. It's just like, I just don't know. I don't know what happened to Sumo. He lost his nose, you know, in the war. And now he just can't get over it. It's ridiculous. Look at the doodle next to my Fabers. These are pencil lead, Sumo. Oh, very good. I see. Yeah, Sumo sees what he wants to see. Oh, hold on. Hold. Hold on. There, he's got a little straw hat now and everything. He's like, do 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 do. Yep. Excellent. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, no, get over there. He's like, oh, I'm very upset with you, Round Eye. All right. Let's get back over here, Round Eye. Okay. But yeah, the oh, hello, Jim Cox. How you doing tonight? Good, sir. Do 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 do. But yeah, the I think Sumo's seeing a lot of what he wants to see tonight. You know, everywhere he looks. They're out to get him. They're out to get him. But yeah, good stuff. Wait, is Angela Asian again? Is that what's happening? But yeah, if you're just joining us, Jim, I did get a bunch of sketch covers from Shelby, and I'll re-show them very quickly. I got 3 Jim and the Hologram sketch covers. I got this crazy Vampire Hunter D sketch cover, which to me is the biggest surprise. Like, this is awesome. Like, I'm like, woo, sweet gem covers. But this Vampire Hunter D is like, what? I didn't even know that there was, like, I didn't even know there was a comic. I'm going to be honest. And then these Street Fighter pinups, you know, really cool. Really cool stuff. I'm very excited about it. And, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I had mentioned that I was looking for the Gem and the Hologram sketch covers, and Shelby was like, I think I have some of those. When I start pulling out my sketch covers, I'll have a look. And sure enough, he did. Oh, I can get this one off the floor. But yeah, super fun. And so yeah, you're gonna see a bunch more. I mean, I got a ton already. I kind of went overboard. Like, I have this weird thing where I want to stock up before I start doing something. And so I just ordered a bunch of sketch covers, and, you know, then once they started coming in, I was like, all right, I'm going to be ready to do them. I'm stocking up. Do 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 la cucaracha, you know. Listen, if I'm enjoying your culture, you're doing something right, you know? That's all there is to it. Let's not muddy the waters here. Let's keep it clean. You know? That's all. That's all. What's an old-timey farm? Do you have Gary's number? Who's Gary? What is happening? Jim doesn't want any Coke? Somebody's talking about interviewing Gary? I don't even know who Gary is. Why would I interview Gary? You know? That's all. That's all I want to know. I just want to know who I should be interviewing and why. Why? They're Amish. Oh yeah, there's Amish up here. There's like, there's a couple Amish like furniture stores and stuff up here. So yeah, they're Amish around. I just assume they're Amish everywhere. I'll tell you what though, here, speaking of, speaking of the Amish, in the 2 years that I was trying to buy my house, our realtor told us that a bunch of Amish people were buying up land and farmland because they were all moving from like the cities, right? They were moving from like Toronto, Ontario, Montreal, stuff like that, to get out of the cities and buy more in more rural areas, right? So yeah, it was a pretty interesting thing. So I was like, oh, we're competing with the Amish for homes, like, and land. So yeah, you know. It was weird. It was a weird thing to be told. But yeah, we're getting in here. La cucaracha, la cucaracha. Hey! Man, Sumo, he's having it rough out here. Getting attacked from all angles. I'm telling you. But yeah, the angles, gotta watch out for them. Sumo. Oh, Samurai have afros. I don't even know what's happening now. Things are wild. Wildness is happening in the chat. You know? Nothing I can do about it. You just watch it unfold. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to get on the bad side of the Amish. Right? Like, what kind of person would you be if the Amish had it out for you? You know, I don't know what you would have to do or how bad of a person you'd have to be for the Amish to have a distaste for you. You know? They seem to keep to themselves. They seem to want to raise a barn here and there, or, you know, build some furniture. You know, they might want to poke around in a blanket or two. Who knows? Alright, I'm gonna pull you down. See, the good thing about putting down a good underdrawing kind of makes this whole thing easier. Right? You just don't have to think about it as much. Gummy Coke? Arriba! But yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I'm telling you. Yeah, and Andy was really worried about falling behind in this sketch cover madness. He only had I think he only had 2 done, and then he did 3 and then did 4 the next night after I told him that Shelby did two, one right after the other. He was like, what? Right? Like Andy and I are becoming united against Shelby in his getting more shit done than us. It's funny stuff. You know, 'cause that's how it's got to be sometimes. You gotta find, you know, your friend, your, what is it? Your enemy's enemy is your friend. You know. What we got going on here? How long have I been going? I've only been going for a little over an hour. Yeah. We're good. I'm good for time. You know, I've kind of just been, you know, chatting and showing off the comics and stuff like that. So yeah, we're good. We're good. You know, that's kind of the beauty of these streams, especially when you go in, knowing that like it's going to take you longer than it normally would. Like, right? Like, if I was just doing this off stream, I would have been done long ago. You know? Hello, Phil. Mr. Diaz himself. Young Deezy, they say on the streets. I mean, I don't know if anyone ever said that, but, you know. Here we are. Here we are indeed. What in the hell? Stop trying to destroy Jim Cox's life with giant gummy bears. I won't stand for it. Okay? Man clearly has a problem. And you're out here on these streets trying to weaken this man's will. He can't have Coke. Don't offer him Coca-Cola gummy bears. Damn women. No, sir. No, sir. I won't have it. You know? Yeah, I watched some of the Phil on Abra's stream earlier myself. I was like, oh shit. I kind of, because Phil mentioned it, and then I was like, oh yeah. So I went and looked for it. Yeah. It's always good to see Phil out there spreading the good word of the Lost Pages. If you have not checked out the Lost Pages, I recommend it. Go have a look at it. It's really cool. A lot of really cool characters. They're always bringing new characters in. So yeah, definitely check out what Phil, Brandon, and Co. Diaz Brothers LLC. You know, see what they're doing. Yeah, it's good times. Good times. Good people. Phil and Brandon doing all right out there. I recommend them. You know, their Babe of the Week stuff, though. I'm gonna side. You can't see me, Phil, but I'm side-eyeing this Babe of the Week shenanigans. Sumo out here, drowning in the desert. You know, the sands will take him alive. The man just wants a drink. But no, you guys will not give him you won't slake his thirst for hot women. Diaz Brothers. Hello, Ark. How you doing tonight, good sir? But yeah. Yep. This whole Babe of the Week thing. Fiasco. Alright. Sliding in. I got that stuck in my head and I don't know why. Thanks, Sumo. See, now we may have offended Phil, Sumo, by doing the Kukaracha song, and it's all your fault. You know? So I just don't like your attitude, Sumo. Well, we're on the bendy part of the book. Alright, I'm not worried about it being too straight. This is all going to be inked in. I could have just drawn the dog. I could have drawn Brooklyn. It would have been good. Phil's not Latino? Awesome one. You're blowing my mind here. I had no idea. Okay, we gotta pull this one in. He's half Latin. He's like Tanis half Elven from the Dragonlance books, but just replace Elven with Latin, half Latin. You know? Then you can go in the Dragonlance Chronicles with Phil. You know? Look what you've done, Angela. Now you have Jim Cox looking at Coca-Cola bears. Fiending for these bears. You've destroyed a man's life. You've destroyed this man's life. He didn't want any part in it. But here we are. Alright, I think that should be dry down there now. Let's get in here. Hit these eyes. A nice circle. Yep. This is the downfall of Jim Cox live. One moment he was like, I don't like to drink Coca-Cola, and then it was like, oh god, a giant Coca-Cola gummy, and then he just we cut to Jim Cox on the street shaking, begging people for Coca-Cola gummies. I just need one more bear. Just one more bear, man, I swear. And I'm out. Just one more bear. I need him. He's delicious. Yeah. I'm sorry they did this to you, Jim. I'm sorry. You know, I wanted it to be different for you. I wanted you to be the one that got out. I really did. You know? 25 pounds of pure bliss. I get it. I get it. Wait till Cox finds the Cox gummies. Uh-oh. 12-inch black rubber Cox gummy. Okay. It's like 5 bags of sugar. Sweet Jesus. Oh, you could. Oh man, but you wouldn't be able to. Like, you'd die. Like if you actually pierce, like if you filled a pool with gummy, one of 2 things is going to happen. You would either never be able to get past the layer, like it would be so dense that you couldn't get past the layer. But if you did somehow break the surface tension of the gummy pool and got under, you'd be dead. There's no way you'd ever get out. Right? You just like drop to the bottom and then you'd suffocate. You'd suffocate under the weight of all the gummy. Like if you filled a real pool, man, it's game over. Game over, man. Game over. Game over, man. It's game over. Yeah. Again, I'm sorry this is happening to you. You know. Yeah. The tragedy. The rise and fall of Jim Cox in gummy form. What a way to go. Do. Yep. It's not death by snoo snoo, but death by gummy. Unfortunate. All right, let's get in here. Yep, the hardest thing to draw, the other eye. You know, because you want it to look the same, you want everything to be balanced. Yeah, what's funny is I remember I seen like an interview with Silvestri, and that's what they asked. Like, what's the hardest thing to draw? And he was just like, the other eye. Yeah, unless you're drawing Sloth from the Goonies. That's true. You definitely got that right, Ark. Then you just do whatevs. And you say you're taking, like, artistic license. Yeah, I think we got there. I think we're good. Do. I think it needs a little tip. But yeah, we got there. The eyes have it. I'm going to do myself a favor very quickly and open this window because it's crazy hot in here. Hold on one sec.
Everyone okay?
Yeah, we just felt like hanging around.
Well, hang tight. Amazing rescue. Local youth, Rio Pacheco, saves rock group the Holograms from certain death. Pacheco tried its mysterious lead singer, Jem, with help in rescue. Great. Not only did you give Jerica's band $1 million worth of publicity, but you're lucky she didn't call the police.
Hey, lighten up. It's not our fault that Aja chick can't drive.
Yeah.
Women.
All right. Now we're back. We are ready to go. It's crazy. It gets, like, you wouldn't think it, but the computer and stuff like that kicks out so much heat and you just kind of get crazy hot in this room. But yeah, we're back. We're back. We're in there. Uh-oh. Heads up, we've detected video in your stream belonging to someone else. My gem clips are getting pulled. All right. Let's go. Yep, literally I got a warning. Heads up. We've detected in your stream bad things. Just like, bro, they're gem videos. Settle down. Alright, I gotta get this wing bit done here. But it's so waxy. There we go. It's so waxy. Yeah, super triggering. Right? Like, you know how it is. I'll get some kind of strike or some kind, not strike, but like a warning or whatever. Or if there's any money to be made, they'll try to take it. Hasbro. They'll get right in there. They'll take the $0 that I'm going to make from the stream. Make it their $0. You know? I'm going to use a thicker for these longer ones. So that I'm not pulling this tiny thing all day. You know? Yeah, it's so dry. The we got a 0.7 here. Yeah, that's good. The 0.7 won't care. It'll just drag along. Not really worried about. I'm going to black a lot of this in anyway. So it just needs to be a good line to break on the other side. Right, like most of this is going to be black. So that she pops. Pretend that I'm going to highlight this line. It'll likely end up being black. Might as well connect that. You know how it is? All right. Now. Oh, yeah, I got to do that line. All right. I'll take a 1.5. Nope. 0.5. We'll do that outer line, and then we'll start filling in blacks. Letting them know. That's a little over. I'm gonna save that from becoming a tangent. Weird. We almost hit a tangent. Telling you. The waxiness of the red pencil really gimps things up. Yeah, I don't know. Fair, like, you know, fair use and like promotion and stuff like that is such a weird thing, because like, you know, even with a video game, like you'll be playing a clip of a video game or something like that, and it'll have some licensed track in it, and it's like people aren't there for that music. People are there for the game, right? And so yeah, you see a lot of the stuff, and you're just kind of like, you seem to think that your IP or your license is more meaningful than it actually is, right? And I get it, like you have to, if you don't protect your IP, then you're basically just telling people to take it, right? So I get it in that sense, but at the same time, you know, it's just how it is. I don't care for this one. It's not stiff enough. You know what I'm saying? There we go. That's what I want. See? Get right in there. But yeah, that's kind of the weird thing. Like I get, like, I don't know. IP is such a weird, tricky thing, just because at what point do you let it all go, and then at what point do you, you know, risk just letting people just take your stuff, right? Like, I kind of get both sides of it in a weird way. Like, you obviously want to protect your established brands and stuff like that, but at the same time, it's like, if you just have some random song, no one's going to a stream or going to see a movie because your random song is in it, right? You know, or it's kind of like Nintendo. Nintendo goes after a lot of people. Yeah, right? Like somebody playing copyrighted music on a boombox. But like Nintendo won't sell you a game, but if you pirate it, they'll come after you, right? Like weird stuff like that, where it's like, well, if you would let me buy it, I would gladly give you the money for it. But since you won't let me buy it, I either have to go buy one like on the used market and you still don't get any money for it, or I download a copy of it because it's, you know, very expensive, and you're gonna snag me for that. So it's like, but you won't sell it to me, right? Like that's like, I don't know, there's weird things like that too, because like, you know, I don't know, as a creator, if I was making something and I was just like, hey, I'm done with that, or I'm embarrassed of it, or whatever, I don't want to sell it to you, I guess that's the only option I'm giving you, you know, is to go and steal it, as it were. But yeah, it's, I don't know. The whole copyright IP thing, things going into public domain, all that kind of stuff, so wonky. There isn't really defined rules for it, and like, you know, and I've talked to other people about that kind of stuff as well. You know, where it's like, oh, you know, Barbarella is in public domain, like all kinds of weird things like that that are in public domain, and then it's like, sure, it would be cool to make something like that, but then you have to be super careful that you're not copying or even like slightly close to the idea someone else had for their Barbarella. And at that point, why don't you just make something your own anyway, right? Like, yeah, it's I don't know, it's definitely weird, all that stuff. Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, Disney is the one that kind of went out of their way to lobby and boycott the whole, what's it called? Going public domain. Like, they were going out of their way to change the rules and the law around what could be public domain and what couldn't. Let's get in here. Yeah, it's weird because like there's things with, I wonder if the yeah, like, yeah, it's a conversation I've had a few times with people about public domain characters, you know, because they're just like, oh, this would be great, or, you know, or I've been asked, like, oh, you know, I would like you to draw a book based on this public domain character, and I'm just kind of like, you know, why would I want to do that? That kind of stuff. I'm gonna slide this in here. But yeah, it's very, very bizarre. Okay, I'm gonna have to walk a thin line here. And hitting the blacks. And keeping it spaced. Probably going to use more black than I would ever normally use on a piece, but I'm just not, I'm not even going to go anywhere near Copics on this. Just because the other one, it oiled up so much and went so weird that I'm just going to go this way. You know, I'm going to, when in doubt, black it out kind of situation. Take it from there. Right. But yeah, I like it. It's popping. I can see where it's going. I really like this. It is very good for filling in all this black. Yeah, they did take it to the 70-year mark and all that stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not a fan. But like we just did get Steamboat Willie, but then like you can't use Steamboat Willie in this version and that version and all kinds of stuff. And they even recently they started doing some games that have that kind of Steamboat Willie art style like Disney did. And so you could tell they were trying to kind of lock it in. So that, you know, if anyone was deciding they were going to try it, they would already have built in, you know, things against that. So if you did anything that was even remotely close, they would hit you. So. All right. Sometimes you're not 100% sure how something's going to look, right? Until you actually get in there and start dropping the black in. If it's going to give you that pop you want. But yeah, I think it will. I think it will. But yeah, it's so funny. Once I got into that other Gargoyles one, the Elisa Mazza one, and the stuff started running up, I was like, goddamn, this is the worst. Why would anybody do this? I guess we'll go right there. Go under, pull down. Right, it's funny, I plan these out, right, like I try to make sure I can fit them decently centered on the page, but then outside of that, I don't think about what I'm going to do with the blacks, like as far as like how heavy I'm going to go with them or not, or if I'm going to shade anything. Like I did put some light sketch shading in. I don't know how well it shows up on the camera. But, like, you know, I did put, like, hey, I'm going to shade under this arm. I'm going to shade, you know, I pull out the light source, I guess, is the best way to describe it, at the very least, so that I at least have that to go from. But otherwise, these are pretty off the cuff. As much as possible, and it's not typical for the way I work. Right, like I tend to plan things out a lot more, lay things out, iterate even, just to get a better feel for where I'm going, right? And so sometimes it's kind of daunting to let go of that control, to just not be like 100% planned out. But it's all right. You know, it's getting there. Right, because I'm also going to do the thing that they do on the show all the time. And this part here is all going to be black. Because they always shade her as though this is black, but her hair's fully red, but they like weirdly highlight it. So I'm going to do that here because I like it, right? Like, I can't wait till they bring Walt back, right? They have his head frozen, you know? When the Disney Wars finally come to fruition, they decide to, you know, the Revolutionary Army is gonna pull Walt out of cryostasis to fight the Disney Empire, you know? I look forward to that. Okay, let's get in there. Boop. Okay. Yeah, I gotta get these little plugs. But yeah, that Nintendo Direct that they had today was pretty cool. I do want to play that Endless Ocean game, because I did like the ones on Wii. They were chill, you know, you could just relax and play some Endless Ocean. Not a bad time. Not a bad time at all. Alright, this is where we're going in black. I'll hit some of this with a highlight. For the most part, I'm just going to follow my heart. You know, see where that takes me. But yeah, I think the underdrawing's strong enough that I'm not terribly worried about where it goes. Yeah, I like that. Let's see. We'll just fill all this in. It's strange, like, how that black actually lifts out her face like that. It's actually interesting. Because her hair is like bright red on the show, but for whatever reason, they just black this stuff out. And then and also kind of like the irony of that is that like Elisa's hair is blue. Like, you know what I mean? They're going in with black paint on these animation cells and blacking out this front spot in Demona's hair, but yet making a character who you'd think would have black hair blue. You know, so it's a weird kind of balance they're going for there. Indeed, indeed. But yeah, very, very interesting. But yeah, I think I might do the Fire and Ice Princess Tigra next. We'll see. Because I got that Frazetta blank, and now I got all these other swimsuit ones for Street Fighter, the gem ones. So yeah, we'll see. I still have one. What is it? Savage Tales, and then I have a Red Sonja that I'm going to do for Sumo. And yeah, we got a whole bunch of stuff to get doing. You know. Yeah. I like it. Because it's interesting. I like when a plan comes together, I guess would be the biggest part. Where you're kind of like not sure how it's going to go. Because, right, like normally I would do this digitally. Like if I was just drawing, you know, for myself or for work or whatever. And then I could try it, right? Like I could literally just like be like, oh, do I like how that looks? Do I want to know if I turned it maybe a light purple with a slight highlight? Would that be cooler? You know, and you can just do that without having to throw the ink on the paper and see it, right? That's what's fun about digital for me, is like the ability to iterate, you know, multiple times before you make your choice. Okay. Yeah. I've colored some of them, Omer Glitch. How you doing, by the way? But the last one I did, the Copics oiled up so much on them, and it almost ruined the piece, right? Like, so I'm going to further take a lot, like some other people's advice, and we're just not coloring some of these because the paper quality varies so much. And so yeah, I'm unsure if I want to color them now or not after the other one went so wild, right? With colors, right? Because like the Maleficent one that I did and the Betty Page one, that paper seemed fine for Copics, but then this is an Authentics one, and so was the other Gargoyles one, and it didn't. The other Gargoyles one hated the Copics, so I don't know if it's like part and parcel to the backing, right? Like I don't know if the backing itself, because like I did a Turtles one, and the backing on it was a gloss shine, and the Copics just practically leapt off the page, you know. So yeah, you just don't, like, it's not consistent. It's not like taking out a piece of, like, you know, Strathmore bristle and it reacting the same every time, right? And so yeah, with these, I'm just hesitant to kind of try everything too crazily, because then you're fighting with it to kind of bring it back, right? That's my concern. Is if it just suddenly starts oiling up the Copics, then you're stuck. You've put Copics on the page. We can go look at the other ones, right? That I did Copics on, and then the Turtles one, I used Posca paint, the Posca markers. I used red Posca on it and stuff, and that looked great. That popped really well. So yeah, it's one of those things. So I feel like it's a very hit or miss kind of thing. And Shelby warmed me, right? Like Shelby, like Andy would always ask Shelby if he was going to hit it with Copics, and Shelby was like, "No, son, like I'm not touching this thing with Copics." And you know, because he kept saying like, "Oh, I don't know, like what the paper is going to be like, and I don't want to take the chance." And so I'm just like, "All right." And then I took the chance and started going with it, and I ended up having to. Oh no! I'm just saying, like I'm just as much trying to warn you as anything, right? Because like when I put the Copics on, they just oiled right up. They wouldn't even lay smooth on it, and then they got really dark, and so I had to end up putting like white over the Copic and then going and hit it with a lighter color to try to save it, to try to smooth it out. It was just unfortunate. And so yeah, I was like, oh, I guess I had to learn that the hard way. And so I spent however long trying to save the piece when I could have just been done with it, right? So yeah. That's the thing. And then this little lip I want to hit a bit of black. All right. So now we're going to pull. Okay. Now, let's see. Let's see what kind of trouble we can get ourselves into. I got some Tombow Fudes. I got some black. I have a stack of like 30 blank covers. I stopped working on because the paper sucks. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, I'm just straight up. I'm doing 52 weeks, doing 52 sketch covers this year, one a week, and yeah, we're just gonna do it, right? Like, for me, it's an excuse to draw traditionally, right? And it's an excuse to stream. It's an excuse to take my skills as a digital artist and transfer them to paper, right? And so, yeah, I'm just kind of going with it and having fun with it, and seeing what we get, and yeah, that's kind of it, right? Like, I'm just kind of giving it what it's got, and that's it. Pull. This is like weird. This brush is super fine. I kind of like it. Right, and then I get to experiment and see where it takes me. Right? Because, like, who knows where. And that's also, like, the thing I kind of enjoy about it. I'm finding my toolkit in a weird way. Like, I'm just kind of checking things out and seeing what happens, you know. And so if I fail bigly, then I do. It's not really anything to be done about it. You just kind of move on and see how it goes. Right, because, like, there's nothing you can't really fix or like not change, really. Like, I could just throw some white on something or whatever. And so, yeah, it doesn't really matter, right? But yeah, how you doing, Jeremy Birch? Good to see you. We're just playing around here, seeing where this weird brush takes me. I do like this texture, though, that it gives. When you fully lay it down. Let's flip you over here. And then the fun part is I have a white one of these as well that I can kind of mess with and just kind of pull this kind of texture with it in the negative. Doo-doo-doo. It's soft enough that you can... Oh, I got it on my beautiful IKEA desk. No! We're safe. Right? It is, it's a kuritake. Let's see if we can get that into focus there. Maybe. No, it's too shiny. But anyway, it's a, if I can get it down low, it's a Kuritake from the Ultrafine brush set. And so we're gonna tweak it and see what we can do here. Yeah, I kind of don't care about the logo anymore. There's a part of me that's over this fucking logo. You know? And doot. And that's kind of the thing too. It's like, it's hard to kind of randomize the texture. But I'm going to take the white over a bunch of these spots, just so we can kind of get it going. So it gives you a little bit more depth and layering. Yeah, I do like the texture it gives. Right, it's just dirty enough. Pull these ones out. Actually, I know what I think I'm going to do. I just thought of it. Alright, cool. We're just going to keep going. Right, because the black doesn't... It's opaque enough that I can mess with this. I'm gonna. Okay. Just want it to be a little solider around her. And do. All right. I'm gonna paper is supposed to be protecting my desk. It isn't. Later, K-pop. Have a good one. through the top for this thing. Do, 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 do. Alright. Set you right there for now. Okay. We'll pump out my brush. We got the white. We got the white. All right. Now, I'm just gonna hit get this opaque in here to gray it out. All right. See, I can thin this out, but what I really want to do is cover the actual logo, and I can always black over it after. We getting in there. All right. We're going to let this dry a bit before I hit it with more. All right. Once we get the opaque white over the logo, then we can obscure it more, right, with the black. And like I'll just show you over here, it should be drier here. Right, and then you're just going to get a better buildup of the black on top, so we can obscure the logo better. Yeah, have a good night, everybody. Take it easy. Anybody who's popping out, get that rest. All right, I'm gonna set you go. There's the top for that. All right. Yeah, we're gonna pull this out. Just hit up any of this logo stuff and then cover it over. I don't normally cover the logo. I kind of kept the logo on all the other ones. But I decided I wanted to do this one a little different. And I'll just obscure it enough. But yeah, it covers really well. I'm actually kind of surprised. Yeah, so you can, no matter what we use, like whether I use this to kind of hit that up again and pull those lines to just kind of get that wispy, dirty pull to unify it all, to smooth it all out. So that she's coming out of the mists. You know? Yeah, I'm just trying to, experiment, do some things with texture, see how it goes, right? Right, and I can soften it up at any point, do anything with it. I just like the texture because you can just get kind of a cool effect with it. And it's just like, I mean, I've seen some of the other kind of like people's art or sketch covers or whatever, and they're mountainous, they're craggy, right? Because they're putting whiteout on it, they're doing all this other kind of stuff, and so. Yeah, it really kind of opened my eyes before I was starting to do this, just seeing kind of like how rough some of the stuff was, how like textured you could make it. And so yeah, we'll just keep toying with it. Yeah, I mostly just want to kind of get that nice misty pull on it. And it does a good job. I actually like the texture you can get out of this brush. But yeah, I'll finish doing the opaque, and then I'll do the texture. I'll finish up all the texture stuff. I just really want to get this logo out of the way, and then I'll clean the line work up around it. But yeah, that's kind of the interesting thing about these. Like, I don't really have a plan after the line work, right? Like, I just kind of come in and do the thing, and then once the inks start coming out, it's a free for all. I'm just like, hey, let's get in here. Let's clean it up. Yeah, we'll get that while I'm here. That's kind of the beauty of it, because then you can figure out what works, what doesn't. You know. And that's the thing, I'm also not worried about, like, I don't know, quote unquote ruining it or anything like that. Like, you know, I just white it out, and if it doesn't work, I just put black over it. That's it. But yeah, we'll get white in here, cover up that opaque yellow. I'll clean it up with the inks. See, I was thinking about just leaving the logo there, but I decided against it. You know, that's how we get here. Okay. So now I'm going to let that dry a bit. And then I'm going to cover all that up with black, like in here, because that was where the logo was, but now I'm going to fill it in properly and attach the hand and stuff. What did I do at the top for this one? Where do all my tops go? I'm telling you. Am I blind? Where is my top? Why am I topless? Alright, I guess you're just going to sit here for now until I find the top. Alright. Now. No, not SB. Where is... Not the 03, not the XS. There we go. Soft. Let's go. See? Ta-da! Take the brush very lightly in here. Okay. Hello, Amanda. How you doing? All right. Now. not going to use that. Do I have a circular device? Got an oval. Whatchamacallit. Oh, is that going to be right size? Okay. What time is it that people are telling me good morning? Oh, it's 5 o'clock. All right. Okay. Gotcha, gotcha. All right. Okay. And pull the Posca out, you know? Do I have a brush in this drawer? I do. I have some Bombay white. Hello, TJ. How you doing today? Lighten this up a bit. Alright, I need more of that. Okay. I'm also... Okay. I wish that had a little bit more oomph to it. You're picking up a bit of that black. I think I'm going to pull this darker. Is it looking moist, Sumo? I don't know about moist. 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 I'm gonna hit something darker under there. I want to pop that out a bit more. Okay, I'm going to pull these down. Maybe less is more here. The farther we get away from it. Yeah, because I'm trying to get a little bit of a texture to it, like, so that there's like a an opaque gray-white blend. Because yeah, I'm looking at the camera, and I'm seeing it really light here, but it's not light to me. So I don't know if that's just the light reflecting. It's weird to see whenever you're looking back and forth. Right. Let's see here. All right. Well, I think I'm going to keep it dark. And keep the silhouette tight. See, this is what I said when I came in. I had no real plan. which is kind of to the detriment, obviously. Just kind of wisp it. And like I said with the Elisa Maza piece, I'm not really worried about screwing it up, per se. You know, I can alter it or change it or do whatever, and eventually work it into something that I'm trying to get across. Right? It's not like bleeding through. Or... Yeah, it's like, see, that's the thing. It's not even like, right? Like that's the thing. Like you'd think it like would be wet or whatever, but it's not even going through, right? Oh, yeah, it does look pretty shiny up there. Yeah, it'll dry. What? Damn it. All right. What else we gonna do here? Let's see. Man, the Copics are going nowhere near this thing. I'm telling you that right now. Let's see here. I'd like this part to dry. You can see that it's kind of wet. But but what's funny about it, I don't think it is actually wet. No, it's not. It's more about using the Posca. And then when you when you go to ink over it, it kind of gives it a shine, a sheen, a Charlie sheen. See, I think... Yeah, I think I know what I think I need to do. Just when I see it in the camera, definitely seems... Right? That's how we might go here. Right, because at some point, you just got to be done. Well, I hate that even more. There's something... Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, I put all these blacks in here for Bancroft. Yeah, I don't know. I might just black it out. That might be where we're headed. Because I hate it. I hate the bands it likes. Right? Hold on now. Do I have... Come to me, BB. You got hungry? Nope, wrong one. Oh, here we go, BB. This BB. Hold on. See how textured that is? Hmm? I don't have sausage fingers. What the hell are you talking about, woman? Yeah, we're going to black it out, and then I'm going to hit it with highlight things later. Right? But I've only got so much time. And at some point, I gotta just move on. I'm gonna hit this with a little light, though. Hit these with a rim light. Do. Anything else I want to hit? Italian. Yeah, it's textured. It's got a beautiful texture to it. We'll see. Right, like I've been going for how long? About 3 hours. Maybe tomorrow before I post it, I might throw something there. But for the time that I have right now, this is the product that's going to be there. You know? Pizza pasta. Hold on. Make sure it's filled in black. Weird golden pen. You know? Oh yeah, I gotta fill that in black. God damn. I thought I was almost out. Almost out the door. Alright, then there's going to be a little thin highlight. Of that wing. What is this, 2024? Yeah, sure it is. Oh, 07 of 52. Tomorrow, when I post it, there may be a moon here. We'll see. I was gonna do some more detailing, like as far as the shading and stuff goes. That might also happen if I have a chance. Or it might just go up like this. Who knows? Who can tell? But that's gonna do it for this guy. Hold on, we gotta shut this out, and then we gotta push this button. That's gonna do it for me. You know, we'll push this one. We can see both of them. See me. We can see Demona. You know, that's what matters. This lack of a moon doesn't matter, but it might have a moon tomorrow. We'll see if I have time to care about it. But until next time, week 8 will be the next time. Yeah, that's gonna do it for me, everybody. Thanks for stopping in. Really appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye.